Hey everyone! Today we're diving into something that's absolutely essential for any student. How do you take a huge pile of research and turn it into a fantastic, properly cited paper without, accidentally plagiarizing? Let's get into it. You know the feeling, right? You've got all your articles, your books, your data, and then that little knot of dread forms in your stomach. How do I actually use all these brilliant ideas without passing them off as my own? It's a super common fear, but trust me, the solution is way simpler than you think. So, your secret weapon against plagiarism? It isn't some fancy software or a checklist you run through at the last minute. Nope. It's a basic skill that starts the second you open your very first source, taking good notes. This, right here, is where academic integrity really begins.
And let's be real, taking notes is so much more than just scribbling down facts so you don't forget them. It's an active part of your thinking process. Yeah, it keeps a record, for sure, but it also helps you prep the raw materials you're going to use to build your arguments, ace your exams, and ultimately write your paper. Think of it like laying the foundation for a house.
Okay, so how do we do it, right? The great news is we can boil it all down to a really simple two-step process that you can use for any text on any subject. Seriously. That's it. That's the whole game. First, you read with a mission, you're hunting for the big ideas, and second, you translate those ideas into your own quick, concise notes. Let's see what that looks like in the real world.
We're going to use a short piece of text here that talks about why women tend to live longer than men. Our only goal is to pull out the main argument and the key bits of evidence that back it up.
So here we go. Step 1 is all about active reading. As we go through this, we're not just letting the words wash over us. We're actively searching for the core info. We're looking for the main claim, in this case, the life expectancy difference, and the key pieces of evidence, which seem to be about the immune system, an organ called the thymus, and these things called T cells.
And boom, here's step 2. We condense those ideas. We take what we just highlighted and we boil it down to its essence. See how we're using abbreviations, numbers, even a greater than sign? The point isn't to rewrite the paragraph. It's to capture the important stuff in a way that's fast, clear, and makes sense to you when you come back to it later.
All right, now for what is, I'm not kidding, the most important part of this entire process. Taking good notes is one thing, but there's one tiny step that makes them completely plagiarism-proof. This is the absolute critical link between your research and your writing.
Here it is. This is the habit you need to build. Before you write a single word of notes, even one word, you write down the source, the author, the year, the title, the page number. Make it an automatic reflex. It takes what, 10 seconds? And it will save you hours of stress and panic down the road.
And this is the difference it makes. Look, the notes on the left, they're fine. They capture the info. But the notes on the right, they're academically solid. Just by adding that one line at the top, you know exactly where these ideas came from. You've created a forever link between the idea and its author.
You see, this simple habit of linking your notes to your sources, well, that's the foundation of something we call referencing. And when you do it from the very start, referencing stops being a chore and just becomes a natural part of how you write.
So what is referencing or citing? It's just the formal way you give a hat tip to the person whose work you're using. It's how you give credit where it's due and show your reader, hey, I've done my homework.
And the reason we reference, of course, is to avoid this big, scary thing, plagiarism. That's basically when you use someone else's ideas or words and pass them off, intentionally or not, as your own. Good notes and good referencing are your shield against it.
And hey, check this out. This is a perfect example of referencing right here. We're using a direct quote to define plagiarism, and right after it, you see the source in parentheses. That little bit of info is what we call an in-text citation. That little citation is a signal to your reader, telling them where that specific piece of information came from. And where did you get the details for that citation? You got it from the source information you wrote down before you even started taking notes. See how it all comes full circle? It's a beautiful system.
Okay, let's pull all of this together. We've journeyed from reading a source all the way to citing it properly in a paper. Let's combine it into one simple, powerful toolkit.
This is it. This is your 4-step, plagiarism-proof workflow. You read with purpose. You take smart, short notes. You always, and I mean always, record your source first. And then, when it's time to write, you can use those notes to cite with total confidence because you've built your work on a solid, ethical foundation. So the next time you sit down to start your research, just remember, your notes aren't just a study tool.
They're the architectural plans for your entire project. They are the foundation of everything you're about to build. So the only question is, what are your notes building?